Thanks for staying with us. So we're still going to wrap it up on this parental conversation of which is the right way. I think Nymah was saying something before the break.
I was saying that I cannot understand, not using the rod. If I have the rod, it's my symbol of authority in the house. And I always replace it because they know how to bury it. My son is good at burying. There was a day we were doing house cleaning. I found 7 buried in different places, back of cupboard, back of wardrobe, inside clothes.
But in fairness, because
keep it.
Obiajulu has, and I don't want to put Obiajulu on the spot, but she and other coaches have tried to help us understand that even those of us that are adults, that they raised with that, not all of us are normal. Because many Nigerians are actually traumatized. They grew up in that trauma of being beaten up. So sometimes it's not always the best approach. Now, I agree the middle ground where some children, yes, need to be spanked, but not...
Wait, so I'm going to tell you...
the way we do.
You see, no, they were abusive beating.
Yes.
There were kids who were not loved, whose parents at every single excuse beat them. Who took out... Yes, they were not loved. And their parents took out all their frustrations on them. Okay. Those are the ones who are not normal. Me, if I raise myself, I will beat myself. My parents will talk. I saw how they struggle. I saw how they had to resort to, okay, let's spank this girl. They feel, I'll be breezed, and then they bottle me. You can't catch me. If you parent me, you have to find the strictest way to parent me. And so some of them, their parents were lovingly compelling themselves to be the right parent. You don't want to overlove a child and put that child in a place where the child is totally just everywhere. And so when we use that statement and everybody just all of us have mental health issues. My mental health, even the one that they did not touch with Cane self have mental health. And really, was it because of the childhood that we had? How aware of you of yourself are you now that you admit certain things? Okay. With my son doing exactly what I do, we are constantly catching him. The other day he said he was going to the poultry where he's interning. He wasn't there. I saw him playing football somewhere far. That's what I used to do. Leave the house. My parents would think I'm in one place. I've gone to slide. I'm coming back. All my body. I've not done my assignments. I'm rushing at 1 a.m. to do my assignment. My parents had to be parents at some point. This child, we cannot continue. There has to be rules and consequences for everything.
Okay.
And so,
so you get to a stage where, when they're little, you'll be hitting them, but they will get to a stage where you will not hit them anymore. Like for me, at that stage where they were, when they were little, I had my own cane too. You know what I tell them when they do something? I'll say, go and bring the cane. Before they get there, if you see the crawling, they'll be taking small steps, baby steps before they go get the cane and then, bring it. So because of all of these things, I had to, the thing is, I read it somewhere and they said gentle parenting. I said, let me try it. So since I tried that and I see that it didn't work, what I do is, I'll just call them, I'll tell them, this is my own, this is what I want, this is what I want. When is your own turn? You can do it, you can do whatever you like with your own children. But for me, since I'm the mother here, this is what I want, this is what I want. So, it's particularly different with my son. My son, up till today, I still hit him. I still use cane on him. But for the girls, I've stopped totally. But for him, I still use cane. What I do is, when you tell him, when he wakes up in the morning and you tell him, dress your bed, do this, do that, he doesn't do it. I keep talking and talking and talking. But when I use the cane, I'm telling you, by the next day,
we have to know the children. Because I think I've shared it here before. I personally, my kids, I don't like the fact that for them to solve problems, they shout at each other. Even just yesterday, I was downstairs and I was hearing the girls yelling at each other. The kids downstairs, the boys, when I do something, they're constantly screaming because there's a lot of shouting in the house when it comes to that. So for me, it's a problem. And now, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it because I think I've tried to have you don't shout, you don't raise your voice, but because of how the method they've seen by the adults in the house, they've somewhat kind of got adjusted to shout. So I'm trying to constantly remind them that you don't have to yell at each other. I can hear you. Okay. So that is a problem. But however, I've also studied that one of my children, I'm not sure that girl has been spanked maybe more than twice in her entire life. That's Michelle. She's very auditory. When she sees you scolding somebody on something, she holds it. She will not make that. She will not make them. So she is the kind of person you speak to, and words hurt her. It's tough when you say something to her, she gets it. You don't have to even spank her. But I have another child that if you don't spank, you're wasting your time. And that one, it is to deny him what he likes.
Yes.
No TV, no that one gets. So studying the children is also crucial. And I think what I like the most of what you said, Nymah, is that it's about the love part, the love factor.
Yeah.
Because if you are beaten in love, it's different when you are beaten from frustration.
Yeah.
Mariam, we're going to say something.
Yes, I was just going to talk about, you know, I had mentioned how I used to, when my mom would flog me, was serious. And you had mentioned how your dad would flog you, and you said he would call you and he will tell you what he's flogging you for and tell you how many he's going to give you. I'm like, okay, if someone was raised that way, maybe someone wouldn't have thought flogging is totally wrong, you know. So how you do it is very important as well.
I remember that time that we went to go. I told you, I think I shared this story before. When we went to go and dance with Sonia Adi. It was my uncle's wedding. I can never forget myself, my sister, my brother, we're all on stage. My father was far away at the end of the hall with his cigar. He was just smoking and just watching us. And we saw his our daddy's eyes. But we didn't care. We were just like, because we know the kind of father we had. We were dancing with, it wasn't Sonia, it was Shino Peters. But that, we love it. We were on stage dancing, but everybody was just looking at us. Our mother saw us, so she didn't stop, they didn't stop us. When we got home that night, my daddy just called the three of us. I can never forget myself for Lucky and today. What did you do? What do you think you did wrong? We already knew. My own children, he went to go and dance with Shino Peters. My own children, he kept saying it. So when he explained the problem, so we knew. So do you know how many strokes? He told us he took air conditioner wire. Hey, that's bad. Those thick ones. Thick. He rolled it. Now told us he's going to give us 12 each. Do you understand what we have done and the consequences? We had no choice. Our bodies were swollen, but we knew what happened. That we cannot now.
Was your hand.
You know this thing called parenting. It's not
easy. Not here, here.
Now that you mention it, my immediate elder sister was never beaten. Neither by my mom, nor by my dad. My dad's sentiment was that she was a sick baby. He thought she would die, and she didn't die. Nobody should touch her. She was stainless. Our last born, I was still joking with my children that the first time my mother spanked her, me and my brother, we had a few days just enjoying it because they don't want to beat us. They constantly they enter. But you see, that's my last one. She didn't expect. My mom would be saying, I will beat you, stop it. She'll be, yeah. And my mom never misses. If she stones you with her she targets you or anything. My mom used to target ankle when you're running away from me, and she will get your ankle. Myself and my brother know how specific a target can. When they tell my sister, she know they believe. So that day they just give her. She was in shock first. So that shock on her face.
Like me, the princess?
We were rolling over in laughter. Welcome to the
I want to wrap up on this topic, but I think it's an interesting topic because more people, I'm seeing that more people want to share their own stories of growing up, being beaten or talked to. But I like us to sandwich it a bit because some people also had the parents that did not spank them. I know somebody who was raised because her parents she was raised in a certain way. Her parents never spanked her. And she's also a responsible adult. So there are two ways of looking at it. It's not all about spanking. I think we can take this one more segment. There's going to short break. When we come back, we'll wrap this up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still on this topic. We're going to just take a few comments on social media. Mariam had one comment.
Yes, Ehiwan says, a kid that has been introduced to canes might not take you seriously if you're not holding one. This makes it hard to drop the cane once it's been adopted into home. It can be done, but it's not easy. Canes are for life. For me, the only part, what I don't like about canes, I find it very disrespectful of the child. Honestly, I feel like you're not addressing the issue. You're just disrespecting that child. That's why I don't like it.
Okay, so
that's how I felt. I felt like I felt disrespected at the time. Like, you didn't ask me. You didn't find out my point of view. You just take a cane and flog me because you can. That's why I just...
Okay, so the Hafsa said, I really want to practice gentle parenting. I honestly do. But raising two boys that are becoming teenagers and going out for daily hustle, returning stressed. Any picking way touch me in the wrong place, go collect. It just reminds me of when, you know, I was in the middle. I had my elder brother is a boy, and then, you know, my younger brother. You know, every single time, anytime they do anything wrong, my mother will pack the three of us and flog us. She said she always thought that me, I'll come out, you know, I'll be gentle and everything. But I follow them. Anything that they do, me too, I'll go and do. If they jump from up, I'll join them and, you know, jump down too as well. And so she flogged.
I think I had the gentle
and I learned a lot.
I think I actually had gentle, especially for my mom. My mom never flogged me. I guess because I came 12 years after her last child, and I was her only girl. So the woman spoiled me silly. I was constantly in pink dresses, and she's always doing. So she never touched me. But my father didn't take nonsense. My father was.
He needed that balance.
Yeah, my mother would never hit me. I think I have a caller. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm Alex. I'm calling from my out here.
Welcome to the show.
Mo.
Yeah, I just want to make a little contribution to this parenting issue.
Yes.
Okay, I said, well, parenting nowadays, I think looking at it from my own direction, is something that there's a very big difference. Because I remember there was my mother, Yawali, where Yawali would just look at you. You understand that that you get the message of what she's trying to do. But if you look at children, maybe they're upbringing or something, you talk to some children, look them directly into their eyes. They will still not get that signal.
I can't. I'm not. Alex, I'm having trouble.
It's a bit not to talk to their kids with their eyes.
Okay. Yes. Okay, thanks. Nymah, you have a comment?
So
Yes.
the parents, the parents that talk with to their kids with their eyes. I remember one time, you're not allowed to eat in anybody's house. So we went for one wedding. My mom sat down, and then they came to give us food. We really wanted to eat that food. We're like, they gave Ramotu kuchimana. We just look at my mom. She just do her face like this. No, bamuso. We're not like, no, we don't want to eat. Like, my brother now collected that food and ate. Then we got home. CBTs. If you see the way I was so lucky, I was so happy that I did not eat that food. I just ignored.
In the lake when we were little, they used to give, somebody can just do his own sarah and bring akara to the mosque that they prayed for him. Some people, Lade Jobi, if they are watching, those ones used to give us jollof rice. So those kind of food you cannot be seeing. My mother's strict instructions were never to eat outside. So whenever they bring it, if it's pack it. If you can pack it and come and show her. So she will decide whether, it's food or not. And so one day they now serve better food. I say, die and I die. I was about 6. My other sister 8. The othest one about 11. And they were advising ourselves. We died now.
Let's just die.
Let's just die. Once.
For this food,
she started to eat it. I was so afraid because they collect beating steadily. This one when they touch make we chop, then they touch her more. And then I joined. It's my own beating that I did not forget. Because once I got to my parents, I don't know how we never knew how to lie to my parents. As an adult now, if you lie at them, I just laugh at them. That I could have been lying to you for years. There's a way they look at you, you start confessing all your sins as if they were there with you. That's how we went to myself.
Let me take this caller. Thanks for calling. You're live. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Emmanuel, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you for the program.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Okay. I said thank you for the program. And I want to say, as a matter of fact, we are all human. God knows better than all of us. God knows better than all of us. And because God knows better than all of us, He loves us more than our children. He loves us more than any other person. And that same God says, the word of God says, if you spread the rod, you spoil the child. If you spread the rod, you spoil the child. The Bible says, just as he said, a father chastises the child he loves. So you cannot tell me you love your child and you don't spank him. I'm happy that I am what I am today because
how do you spank? Can we discuss this spanking thing? Because I know some people, when you spank your child and your child is actually sorry, you're still spanking the child. Are you angry or you're correcting? And I was telling you about our last one who never got spanked. There was a day she was being beaten by my dad, and my brother was saying to her, just say sorry. Say, Daddy, I'm sorry. Say, Daddy, I'm sorry. She was in shock. She didn't know. We were with all the chop cane. We know when we are thinking, Daddy, I'm really sorry. And it ends there. And that's the end of the beating. You now be telling you know what you have done. Don't do it again. So when are you really spanking your child? If you must use the rod, is it to correct the child or to kill the child? Because you know the way they do Omolomo. That neighbor's child, that your friend's child who is living with you, that you beat and you're saying you don't want to spare the rod, how do you not spare the rod? Because sometimes the word of caution is the rod itself. My father's late friend was cautioning his son one time, and it was just his words, I'm so disappointed in you. For weeks, this boy was sulking, crying, thinking he has failed his dad. Sometimes your word is the spank. The harsh word is the spank. Is it every child that let's talk about this spank? It has to be in love.
That. I think for the first time in almost 30-something years, what you just said now just hit me. Because I remember, I put in my book my experience when my dad spanked me. The one time, the second time my father really spanked me, it was about the biscuits I ate by my stepmom. But now that you are talking, I think I'm remembering for the first time that he actually probably had a fight with my stepmom that day.
Okay.
They had a bit of an argument because we left Isolo. I can never forget. Because the biscuits were supposed to be for her. So he came in from somewhere, maybe Abuja, and I ate those biscuits. I gave out the biscuit. I gave it, there was shortbread and top biscuit. I gave it to drivers, the neighbors. I was going house to house. My daddy bought me biscuit, thinking my stepmom sent it to me because she sent me some homemade biscuits, which she did. It was a small bag for me. But the one my eyes entered was these cartons. So I gave it out to drivers, the whole neighborhood knew that my daddy brought me biscuits. By morning, I was sleeping on in my mother's room. I heard my father call me. Brian, do you ever? Of course, he pulled me. I was 8 years old. He pulled me from my chest like this, threw me on the bed, locked the door, and threw the key in the dustbin. He beat that thing. They stood down.
Yeah.
I did stood down.
Yes.
He brought out his belt. I can never forget the belt. He wrapped it up with what they call it, rubber band. 2. Wrapped it together.
That's very premeditated. Sorry.
No, he wanted to kill me that night. Now, that day, the day before, so what happened was that my mother found out about the biscuit. She was angry at me. In fact, a whole bunch of people. She was mad at me. She was warning me. Why would you be trading out biscuits? My daddy got me biscuits. So her own PA came in the morning and said, Mariam has finished daddy's biscuit too. Please, can I really rush to Lagos and replace it before daddy wakes up? Said, no. She would chop this cake. So I did not forgive her for many years because
so
I remember he had a fight with my stepmom because I think it was the frustration from that argument that he put on me because the beating was much more than biscuits. It was much more than biscuits. I think it was a long story.
So it was like transfer of aggression.
So that way that we have to be very careful. Are we really correcting or we are showing frustration on that child, transferring that aggression to our children? So once you realize that you are transferring aggression, you stop.
There was one scarcity of kerosene that got me that kind of beating. Certainly, my mother wasn't beating me. So me and Sambum was raining. There was one book borrowing club. We used to go and borrow books. So since we couldn't pay, one person would borrow and borrow the rest, so that we would not rent that particular book again. And so it was my turn, and I was rushing to finish it. And they gave me this scarce rice and scarce kerosene to cook it. I left it. We were supposed to parboil it and then cook it again. And I left it there. The things turned to my mother.
Scarce, maybe Uncle Ben's right?
He was no. I was rice not long money. Okay. What I say, Uncle Ben's bow. You don't know what I grew up with. So they were to measure this rice and gave me. It was supposed to be for the family. But my father's younger sister, I hope she's watching. And that's like, I'm not forgiving you.
Stop calling people
because,
out.
No, because she could have helped me. She was in the house and she saw that I was really carried on over by this book I was reading. And she could have helped me. But she enjoyed it. And then she was the one who went around to inform everybody. If my father did not return from work that day, they have already killed me. They beat. If my father had to say, was there an adult at home? And you beat my daughter like this? And you know what they did to me after beating me like that? My mother beat me with this mop stick. He broke on me.
Hey, blood of Jesus.
I have the marks. He broke on me for you are always doing this distraction when I tell you to do something. She was really frustrated. I wanted to apologize to her because I could see her frustration. I saw what I had done wrong. But the beating not commensurate. It was out of proportion. Yeah. They beat me finish and now put the entire pot down. And she bought another rice and made for my siblings. And only me, I'm to finish that pot of rice. 3 days in my life, I've always been stingy with food. Come and see me telling my brother, I'll pay you. Yes. Because the rice must finish. Fortunately, my father now, he was on night duty, but he came home that night. I've never loved that man the way I love my dad. He lifted me up out of all the suffering and said, was there an adult at home? I said, come here. She then came out. She was reading that book. Shut up. And you were at home, you did not go to the kitchen to check it. And you people beat her. If you see me, I was like this. I was gonna. He now took me to his room. Said, lie down. Have you eaten? Sleep. I feel like the prima ballerina.
That's love part.
Yes.
You know, like the
get my status sharp.
Because also after my own beating that same day, because the carton was still remaining, a lot of biscuit.
Yeah.
My father said, "So you like biscuits?"
Okay. You did not tell me.
He now put it on the floor in the dining table. I can never forget. He was having breakfast. He sat me down there with the 2 boxes, chalk and tissue. Sit down. You're going to finish it. Hey. This morning. Good. He had his other lawyers. I can't remember if Femi Falana was there because usually in the mornings like that, all those lawyers come around to take to the office. The lawyer, about 3 lawyers sat down. He was there having breakfast. He said, "You like biscuits? Sit down. Before I finish my breakfast, you must finish these boxes."
Oh my goodness.
See me eating. Open and eating. Because he had the this is
trauma. It's coming out. But you know, for me, I remember. So the things that I felt were not done right by me in the name of discipline, and so when with my children I tried to do it differently. So you see that thing that you said your father came and insisted, you know, sort of saved you. I try to do that too for my children sometimes. And I can see the gratitude in their eyes. I'm doing it because of what I wanted for someone to have done for me. You see the gratitude. You see this, my son, how he can be tough sometimes. When I do something really, you know that I've gone out of my way. I hear, "Thank you very much, Mommy," in a low tone. I'm like, okay, I hope this will help, you know, sort of balance things out. So with our children, I think if we remember how we're badly, we sort of make up for it with our own.
So when I hear the
a very short break and wrap up with hopefully, I thought I was supposed to wrap this up. But stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We tried to wrap this up, but obviously I think more people are calling me. So I have Mr. President from Abuja. Thanks for calling, President.
Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I've been on the show for a while now, and I'll be very brief. Yes, I'll be very brief, so I'm not going to dwell more on this particular topic because you ladies have really talked about it so much. But I have a question of which I was debating with some of my friends just some time ago because they said it's part of soft parenting. The issue of kids now are not allowed to choose their meal in the house. Like kids no longer that it is okay for you to ask a child, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
That's true.
That thing.
The reality of our lives.
So that's just what Thank you very much.
It's that problem.
It's a big problem.
In those days, there's only one pot of food they used to cook now.
Yes, now.
If you don't want to eat, you go fast. But now, this is ones that we are burning up and then, okay, thank you. They will even go and sleep. Maybe the day I dare, I say, well, I'm not cooking, they will go and sleep.
Okay, so for me, my kids, they started that habit too. You have to ask them what to eat because at some point they stopped eating. If you cook and you tell them eat whatever is being cooked in the house, you now realize that they're not eating. And then I now noticed that my son was just, losing weight. He was just emaciating, and that way the person can lose necessary nutrients. So it's just good for you to ask. Just ask because the children now.
So for me, I think
last night, for instance, we were in the kitchen together. This my daughter, we were cooking together. She bought the okra that I wanted to cook, and when I was done doing pounded yam, the girl said, "Can I go and buy bread?" How do you process it? You say that wickedness.
Well, it comes with your status. In a home where that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford. The children will adjust. But when you are blessed, your children understand that they are in a home where there are options. They will ask for options. I find it particularly stressful, really, because especially my son, and my own son's stubbornness, he will decide not to eat. If you go 3 days, doing something that he doesn't want, he will go 3 days not eating. So we have learned, my mom says, no matter what, just make sure you're giving him protein. Exactly. He has eggs, meat, fish, whatever, until...
That's the reality.
But I'm also learning that because he has some allergies. I'm also learning that sometimes we need to be careful when our children are insisting on a certain type of food or not eating. It may be something that they're dealing with. They are yet to learn how to express themselves. But I've figured out he has some allergies. He'll eat some things, he'll break out in hives. Okay. So in his own mind, when he was growing up, that was just his way of saying, no, I just didn't want, but he didn't know how to express it. So let's be careful. If you have been blessed to be able to give your children options, I don't think that in itself is a bad thing, as long as they're eating healthy.
True. So I wanted to say,
blessings should come quick.
Yeah. So I wanted to say something about the rod. Anytime I hear that rod, what comes to my mind is iron. I used to get scared. So when we were little, my dad, anytime my mom hits us, and my dad hardly hits us. He only hits us when it's very important. I mean, when you do something very, very bad. Maybe, for example, like maybe you take something you're not supposed to have, you're not supposed to take. Maybe you steal or something like that. That's when my dad will come and hit you real beating. But I now realize that anytime my mom hits us, we'll cry. We'll wait. Once it's close to my dad's, when my dad is going to come back from work, we'll have stopped crying. When it's almost that time, we'll just start crying, so that when he comes, you ask, what happened? By the time he comes, he asks, what happened? We'll not tell him. Once we tell him, we'll just hear him. He will go, he will scream at my mom. He'll be screaming at my mom, telling her, I've told you, stop hitting these children. Stop hitting these children. The next day, my mom will still hit us again. We will do the same thing. So we now got the politics. We now realize, we now say, wait, Kai, this daddy, anytime daddy comes, you scream, but they'll still do the same. They'll still hit us again another day. We're just like,
So, Ramatu, what a coach will tell you, because we saw our parents hitting and shouting and beating us, we're now doing the same thing to our own children. So a coach will tell you that you must be conscious of the fact that now we are repeating what they taught us. So because we don't want to repeat that trauma on our kids, we need to caution ourselves where we find a better solution in solving this problem. So the issues of let us beat our children, we must remind ourselves and try to take back, like, okay, how were we raised? And can we consciously stop ourselves from repeating our parents' mistake? Although we should now do it probably with love and more consciousness and intentionality. But let us be very clear on why and how we are disciplining our children. Because sometimes that confusion causes problems.
The prayer is that the children also know how to make jokes of it, how to relax and sometimes forgive. Yeah. So, for instance, I don't believe I was hardened by my mom's beating. The moment I did something wrong and I saw how frustrated she was, she told me, she said, look at my resources. I'm struggling with my business and your finances at this time. Look at you this girl, you go here today. It was my auntie Afsa, the one in Abuja, not the one in Lagos, that, was not helpful. She was in the house, and as an adult, you also help the children. One thing I don't do in my house, I don't beat my children for breaking gadgets. So my mother's house, you could break anything. As long as you are not being throwing tantrums, maybe that is given. She would never. But so tell a lie, do some mistake, just be unbearably understanding. You knew as a child when you were growing up, when you did something wrong.
I don't want to forget this point, Nymah, because it seems that those of us who raise our children in that soft tone conversation, there's an argument, and I think it's based on what Michelle Obama said, that we're trying to get our children to like us.
That's the idea.
It's an important, for us, it's like, I want my child to like me. And I now remember also because my mom's approach to my own, how she raised me, was because there was this polygamy issue with her. And I was this only child. I came, like, all my brothers had left. I'm the only one. And here I am every Friday. I'm going to my stepmom's house. I'm enjoying being there in Isola. We travel together to Cotonou. She's alone in the house. So she was being kind and cautious with me because she was trying to make sure I still love her. She was trying to buy that love. So she was very... She didn't want to beat me. She didn't want to make me feel bad in any way. So that didn't help. Because I would have preferred her to be slightly more fair, because I got away with a lot of things just because I knew that Momsi needed me.
That's a new narrative now where, when we're growing up, you say, let your daddy come. Whereas you could have been all the stick as a mom.
Exactly.
Women will now wait for the daddy to be the one the children will hate. And all of us grew up loving our mothers. All our mothers were angels because they always kept the beating part for our daddy who we thought was harsh. Whereas, yes.
Well, that's yours, because many people love their daddies because their daddies were not in the house throughout the day. They'll come in the evening with, yo.
Yes.
This thing I'm saying has been tested on all social media. In fact, there was a skit maker who was trending recently for saying, your children will do something in front of your wife, and you will tell them, let daddy come back, you will see. You were there.
Yes.
Daddy is not the evil one that is coming to come and instill evil. Somebody did a skit and Tierney also shared to our group where he said, I'm not you to beat and with me. beat your child with me. They can come back.
let me take a break.
Daddy will come
Our
back.
final break for today. Obviously, we are unable to take another topic.
Enjoying this
Let's
one.
take a short break. We'll take more comments on social media and take a few more calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing raising kids, especially in the modern times, doing the whip or using the conversation. I mean, we've not given enough points to the conversation option. I think I'd like us to give it.
Let's take some of our fans on YouTube. So Emmanuel Gumola says, my wife holds the carrot while I hold the stick in my home. She loves me because I've never spanked her without telling her why I did it. That's maybe talking about his daughter. I don't beat her anymore. She doesn't reject my commands, but my wife's. So the person will carrot and they see finish anyway. Keeping Faith said, I was beaten black, blue, and green, which I am sort of grateful for because I knew if I wasn't trained up that way, I would obviously have gone haywire. But the psychological scars is now haunting me as an adult.
Of course.
There was
black, blue, and green.
Afsa says, Nymah, not sparing the rod is supposed to correct the child. A consequence of their action, but most of the spank is out of frustration. Keeping Faith says, parenting also is spiritual. A friend well parented, good schools, and a lifestyle. Now, as I speak, this guy is roaming the streets mad as a result of hard drugs. Oh no.
Okay, so there's an argument, Ramatu, I'll come to you, that says that a school of thought that says that the reason with all the spanking that was done in Africa, how many trains or how many inventions have we had? How many modernization has actually, yes, we have modernization that come from Africa, but the truth is that sometimes this option of spanking impedes creativity from a tender age. A creative mind that should create, that should invent, that should help in bringing civilization further to this part of the world. Those kinds of beating kind of crushes it so early in the child's life. So the truth is that we feel as adults that we've grown up and we survived it. But yes, we survived it, but what kind of adults are we in comparison to our counterparts who are... So I'm just saying that because sometimes we see that, oh, we're fine, but maybe we really aren't fine.
I've heard that argument before, and I hear what they're trying to do, but I feel that there are too many other factors involved in creating that sort of creative mindset, and also the atmosphere, the community where you are definitely affects you. So for me, I don't think it's just about the spanking or no spanking. After all, when we read some of the old stories from the British, they used to do very horrible things to their children. You know, they would spank them, they would lock them up, they would make them hungry, go hungry. So I don't think just that is why they are not creative. But you were talking about how those who raise their children, just speaking to them and having conversations. And for me, I always say my youngest brother, I saw the way my mom brought him up was very different from, he got much less spanking. There was a lot of talking between them. And I feel that there's a way he carries himself differently from us. We carried us, for me especially, I was a bit more fearful, and he just seemed to go into the world with his shoulders back and more confident, And I think that
there's a difference.
There's a difference. When you talk more, you are saying to that other child, you're saying to the child, I respect you.
Let's reason together.
Yes, let's reason together. That respect allows that person to grow up with confidence. But many people will tell you they're the ones that have turned to drugs. I think that it takes a whole lot, because there's some people that were beating blue, black, and green that have turned to drugs because of the trauma of how they were beaten.
Let me take this caller. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Morning, okay. I just want to relate my own personal experience with the whipping and talking. As a child, I think 1973, my mother, I was in the kindergarten. My mother was traveling to Kaba, and she left one couple with a hole in between for me and my little sister. And I took the one couple to school. When I got to school, I bought rice, beans, and a bit of pomo.
Wow.
For half kobo.
1 coin.
For half kobo. And the old woman who was telling us this thing knew I was naive. She said she didn't have change. So when I got home, my stepmom asked, how about the half cover for my little sister? I said I was not giving change. But she was not going to believe me. I don't blame her. My mom just came. When she came, and she told me, this boy is becoming a thief. At least for being excessive with my spending. Mm-hmm. She beat me. She threw a lantern at me. The thing broke and caught me at the back of my neck. Oh. So where am I driving at? I think about 4 or 5 years ago, she saw that thing and she was about apologizing. Now a great-grandmother. And I said, no, I have learned how to be accountable, how to be prudent with that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And with my children, I'm a father of 3. With my children, I told them I don't beat them, not because I cannot, but it's my own personal policy. And I hardly talk. But if you cross the line, we'll sit down. Yeah. I will ask you, hey guy, this thing you're doing, how do you see it? Then we'll define it. The next time you do it, you get the punishment you put on that thing. Like my last born, when he was in, like about my age, they were in primary school. I was bringing them home. We got to Minister's Hill in Abuja, and I saw him, he rolled down the glass, and he poured his milk on the road. I just parked. I said, Oga, you did what now? And he told me, God, I told them never to lie. He told me, and I said, in that your class, did everybody brought milk or bring milk to school that day? He said, no. I said, why not give it out? He said, and I said, for that, it was a Monday. I said, for that, from today till next week Monday, nobody takes milk in my house. Okay. Himself, the brother and the sister.
Thank you very much.
I know if you allow the sister to take milk, they will give him.
Thank you very much,
I told their grandmother. So,
thank you very much, Kate.
Okay, so there's this story from Omolabake. She said, my mom will never beat you immediately you offend her. She will give you better food to eat, then wake you up in the middle of the night to beat you. To beat you. And yeah, a lot of parents did that.
A lot of kids.
So you can imagine, but if you don't hit at that particular point in time and you wait till the middle of the night, the child will have forgotten.
No, my mother, they wait 2 weeks. Yeah, last 2 weeks.
But she would remind
my brother will know this story.
Will remind you.
My mother would say last 2 weeks when that guest came and they couldn't finish their drink. You were waiting for the bottle. 2 weeks, they will remind you. But it's important that when we do things to our children, especially when you tell the child you can talk to me, let the child talk to you. Mm-hmm. There was one thing that was a gift in my own parenting, my parents parenting me, was that we were allowed to express our... You will lie that lie. That lie you thought was perfect, you go lie. They go probe them. Then when they glitch shit, oh goodness gracious. You used to know. My parents will tell you just lied and we've established it. So you will know, you will express it. Mm-hmm. But I saw homes that I don't want to mention names, where the child was never, even an adult was never allowed to express themselves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How can an adult say, oh, did this happen? Yes, I was. Did you go to the market? Yes, I did. You went to the market and that's it, they've concluded.
Yeah.
What happened? You can't ask, why are you asking? They say, no, you want to cover up. You want to cover up. Because you're a lawyer, you want to... Those are the wrongest kind of parenting. Mm-hmm. If that child could just have expressed himself, you would have found to... My son, no, they ever collect change. But it's because we're always asking. Mm-hmm. He will even tell them, okay, have you finished? Okay, Yolu, come and collect it. Mm-hmm. Because it was Yolu that parented him. He never collect. But if you don't find out, you start calling the child a thief. Yeah. And what you call a child is what the child owns. And that's the most dangerous kind of thing to ever do. Mm-hmm. You will allow that child to establish what exactly is their own side of the story. And as a parent, you must be able to be that unbiased umpire. You must be able to hear, see, and read everything before you finish a child's life. Those are all these traumas that we were them beat. When we not treat us unfairly, I cannot come and sit here and call my parents' house. I was a good child.
I just remember that in my house growing up, if you break a plate, you get beaten for breaking a plate. Mm-hmm. My house now, when you break a plate,
you sweep it.
You don't get beaten. But I still see the same remorse I felt then, and they still feel it, you know. So I didn't have to be, but I still get that same behavior.
I was so scared of that China place.
Of course.
Hey, Jesus Christ. So we used to take those China as if it was one god.
They don't beat for breaking anything in my house. They will take your money. I broke a bucket for throwing tantrums. I just broke it on somebody. And my mother said, okay, this is your 30 naira, that is your pocket money. You will not get it for a week. And me, I cannot skip any meal. Food was,
a problem.
Food was a control. All those fasting, I did not forgive. So it's different thing. In my house too now, I don't beat my kids for breaking it. Anything you break, you miss it. You don't get it replaced. So that's the way. I go clear. I don't. There are things that you must beat a child for.
We have to wrap up with this conversation. We have to wrap up with this conversation. But, I mean, as I said, it would be nice to have somebody who speaks really for the modern parenting, because even though
Amaka has spoken about that quite often.
Sorry?
She was raised, Amaka speaks about that often.
Yes, modern parenting is really interesting, but I also like to see people share in their options of how to manage situations like what Ramatu had shared, that scenario. What's the best approach? Because I as a mother, I struggle because at times I'm thinking, okay, what should I do in this moment? Like when you see your child, you're thinking, this one needs a slap, but I'm not supposed to slap. So I walk away first.
You walk away?
No, that moment. There's sometimes where I do it, but there's sometimes where I feel like this one needs a bit of thinking. And I come back because you need to process the situation.
Go and do wisdom because if my children are so smart now, so you have to go and build on your wisdom. Add to it and come back.
The way you are reacting to me, we'll find something. So I say, I'll leave the situation first. Go to my room. I don't want to see anybody. And now thinking, what do I do? And then call. And then
ChatGPT something.
That is all we can take on today's show. That's all we can take. So have a great weekend. To join the ladies of Your View Pigeon tomorrow morning, and we'll see you Monday. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.